Well, with that, I'd like to welcome to the program John Five, guitarist in the Rob Zombie Band. You're a solo artist. You've been with tons of other super interesting acts. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, all right. One thing I wanted to kick off with, I just found out, actually prepping for this interview, that the Knights in Satan Service Instagram page, which I've been following for at least a few months, is yours.
That's right. It is mine. And it's funny. I started it January 1st, 2018. So
Okay.
right when, that New Year's Day. And I had this plan to do this. And I just was like, had this big plan. And every day, it doesn't matter where I am in the world, every day I will post something. So that means when I go on tour, I have to calculate how long I'm going to be gone. I have to take all the pictures and stuff. But it's a really fun hobby. And it also gives people like yourself, like a little, blast from the past. You might have said, oh, I had this when I was a kid, or I remember this. And that's what it's all about. It's about, fun and nostalgia and things like that. And people really enjoy it.
How long have you been? This is your personal collection, correct?
Yes.
How long? How long have you been doing that?
Forever, as long as I can remember. But it's fun. It's just something fun, and gives a little education on things too. Like, oh, did you know there's two of these, or different colors of these, or the Kiss dolls they made in Montreal and French, and things like that. Just fun things like that.
It really is. I mean, it's amazing. You have some really obscure stuff on there. I think I actually I got into Kiss in 1977. I think I actually started collecting, I don't know, once I basically had time and money. And the first thing I had to do was get all the albums, you know what I mean? Get good copies with all the inserts and chasing that down. It was a lot of fun to do over the years, and I thought I had a pretty decent collection, but you have some. I mean, just recently you were kind of going through all these promo things that it's like, where do you even get this stuff?
It's through people and friends and eBay and things like that. It's hard, but it makes it fun because it's the thrill of the hunt, like the old saying goes. It really is the thrill of the hunt, and you get so excited when something like this comes up.
A decent amount of stuff is from Australia too. Did you do a tour down there and hit up a bunch of antique stores or something?
Well, what's funny about that, Kiss was massive in Australia in 1980. Huge. And they were kind of veering off a little bit here in America. So they went to Australia, where they were just completely massive, and they released so much merchandise in 1980. I mean, everything. Beach towels and, masks and marionettes and all this stuff. And it was so interesting. Like, they just flooded the market at that time.
But how do you get your hands on it? I mean, is that just back to the eBay thing, or were you actually down there shopping, or?
No, eBay. Sometimes when I'm there, I'll pick stuff up. Yeah, and it's so cool. I really, really enjoy it. And it's a fun hobby because I work so hard. I work so hard, and it's just a fun hobby. And that's why people have hobbies. It's very important to have a hobby if you can find one you really enjoy, because it does relieve a lot of stress.
Yeah. No, I mean, I obviously I don't have much of a disagreement there, being that I've wasted a lot of my time, and, well, I wouldn't say wasted, but time and money, chasing down certain items with Kiss. What's your favorite item? Yeah, do you have anything, or a couple that really stick out for you?
Well, they made some underwear in Australia that is so rare. I mean, it's just really super rare. That might be, or they also made these shorts here in America, in JCPenney. They did a line with this clothing company called Image, and they released all these kids' clothes in 1978. And the shorts are one of the rarest pieces. So You'll see it. It's up on my.
Yeah, I saw that one on the Instagram page recently, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Um,
just unbelievably rare. So it's fun.
but how big of, I mean, have you did you get into Kiss back then, I assume?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. 100%.
Do you
Yep.
still have stuff from like when you were a kid?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, my
And
parents suck. They mean basically I don't have it because of them.
yeah, a lot of people have that same story, but
Yeah.
it's out there. It's definitely out there.
Yeah. What about what don't you have? Anything you've been chasing?
Oh, there's tons. Yeah, there's tons. I mean, they did so much. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a
Uh,
lot.
does have you ever been in Gene's little room that I've seen on Family Jewels? Like,
Oh yeah, it's not little either.
okay, well, yeah,
Yeah, it's a very large room. So oh yeah, I've been there a bunch of times. He's got of course great stuff.
yeah. Uh, well, do you have like how is your collection? Do you have like a Kiss room set up, or is it just kind of boxed? Or
I do. I have this office, but it's gonna be. I have to move it all. I have this really large garage,
okay,
and clearing out the garage, that's not a big deal. Because I need the space. I need the space. I need the space. But the hard part is the temperature control. You have to keep it a certain temperature, or there's going to be problems with this stuff. So I need to, most garages, some are insulated, some are not.
right.
Mine is not. So I have to insulate it, and I have to have this whole system put in, because I have to do it because I don't have space for the other stuff, and I don't want to put it in other parts of the house, obviously. But I have it in one room right now. But I am eventually moving it to the garage and making it really super nice.
You've played on both Paul and Ace albums. Do you consider yourself part of your Kiss collection?
No, it's just they're my buddies, and I'm really close with Peter. I talk to Peter, a couple times a week, and I talk to Ace, about once a week, and so it's they're buddies. They're just they're good friends, and sometimes I forget, oh yeah, these are the guys from Kiss, because they're just friends.
Yeah, it's got to be mind blowing that to a certain extent how to think back. And,
Yeah.
uh,
I just tell them, don't go in this room. They'll think I'm like some kind of serial killer, and I'll lock them in there or something.
do you have any of their images tattooed on you anywhere?
No,
Okay.
no.
That might be a little off-putting, but well, we do have listeners that are Kiss fans. I know we've done some Kiss related episodes. So yeah, it's an Instagram page called Knights in Satan's Service. It's really easy to find, and honestly, if you're a collector of any interest, it's going to blow your mind. Some really cool stuff. So
and it's funny because there's so many people that have these kind of that have these collective soul, like Kirk Hammett. He loves all the monster stuff, and there's so many people that really love collecting a certain thing, and I think it's just such a great thing, and it's a great hobby to have. It's fun.
yeah, right on. Well, good for you, and thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
You mind if I touch on some of the other artists? I know you got a new record coming out. We'll get into that for sure, but you just had such a fascinating career. Is it okay if I ask about some of the people you've had a chance to work with?
Absolutely, of course.
Well, David Lee Roth has got to be one of the most, I don't know. I mean, he's just an icon.
Yeah.
But when you got to work with him, it was towards the later period of his career. I guess my biggest question, at least something I'd be interested to know. I mean, is David Lee Roth 24/7? He just seems like that kind of guy.
No, Dave he's super smart, super on top of it. No, he'll tell jokes. He's got a great sense of humor, but he doesn't let anything slide. He's on top of everything, and very, very intuitive, super, super smart. He loves just reading anything he can get his hands on. He loves education, and that's what's great about it.
As far as working with him as a musician, how musical is he? Does he know a lot of different instruments? How does what's it like basically sitting down with him and he's like, I have an idea for a track.
He is. He knows what he wants before it even happens. He is like, we'll sit down. He'll say, "I want something like this, that, and the other thing." Um, but how can I explain it? He'll like just explain it to me. But he knows how to play guitar, and let's see. It's very hard to explain how we'll go about it. But he'll say, "Give me something like this, maybe a little Doobie Brothers or a little Steely Dan." But he doesn't like things. He doesn't like things basic, if you will. He doesn't like things cookie cutter or things like that. He doesn't like me just using regular chords. He'll like me to use, things like that. He'll like it a little out of the ordinary.
Did he ever? He had to give you some life advice over the time working with him.
Oh my God, all the time. Yeah, dude, I've learned so much from Dave, and he's super knowledgeable. I mean, he's been doing this since, 77, and he's been famous since probably 78. And he knows the road. He's paved it, so he's definitely an inspiring person. That's for sure.
Did you come in? What year was it? Like '98, if I have that right.
I think I was, like right around there, 97, 98, yeah.
Do you have any insight as to through him of what was going on with Van Halen at the time? Because there was like a little bit of back and forth. We actually just talked about on the show that of that period of Van Halen that Sammy was out, he was kind of going to be in, and then next thing we know it's Gary Sharon. Did you have any insight to that, or was this after, or was that before you would have been involved?
Well, no, I was around Dave all the time, so it was around the Van Halen 3, I think, album.
Okay, yeah.
And we just kind of wanted to make a kick-ass heavy rock record, kind of like the old Van Halen. He always described, he said, because we did our record live, and he said, we're going to do it just like, Van Halen did back in the day. We're going to do it live. And he wanted everything like that, just really live sounding and not a lot of overdubs and just, hit it hard in the studio like that, which was really cool.
Well, another icon you worked with was Rob Halford on a record that I actually adore quite a bit, and that's the Two Voyeurs album.
Yeah, it's funny. People love that record. But here's the thing, like I've said before, there's a rock, like guitar version of that record. There's a lot of that is keyboard and stuff like that. And there was Trent Reznor and was helping out with that record. But they took a lot of the guitars out. But there is a guitar record out there, a guitar version of Voyeurs. But here's the thing about that record. You cannot... Like, a good song is a good song.
Right.
It doesn't matter what instruments are on there. And that is a really great record, and I'm super proud of it.
Yeah, it didn't get a real strong shake, but I still listen to it from time to time. I actually was, I don't know how much touring you guys did. I saw you in Somerset, Wisconsin at a radio festival on Memorial Weekend.
A lot of people saw that show.
Yeah, there was like 25,000 of us there, I think.
That's
so you
awesome.
you remember it?
Oh, of course. Yeah, that was a great show. That was a great show, and it was an awesome time.
Did you see me? I was over on the right side waving the entire time.
I thought that was you when you called.
Your voice sounds familiar. I can hear your hands waving.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it was great. Yeah, you guys did like a little quick 40-minute set like everybody that day for the most part. Weather was decent. I don't know what to say. I was it meant to be short-lived, or was it just going to be, let's just try this and see what happens?
We were rocking. Everything was going great. We're killing it, and then I think I messed it up. I think I joined Marilyn Manson, and
okay.
and that's how that all went went going on. I just I joined Manson, and then that was it. I became John Five, if you will.
Sure. Yeah. Now, did he coin the name or?
Yeah, actually, he did. He said, "I'm going to do everything with numbers, and your name's going to be John Five." And I was like, "Awesome," So he coined the name, and it's I kept it, and I love the name, and we did that last tour the last summer, the Twins of Evil. So it was great to reconnect with him. I saw him every day.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
So no bad blood. Mind, if I recall right, it wasn't exactly the cleanest of breaks between the two of you.
No, it was fine.
Okay.
It was no bad blood at all. I mean, we've been friends forever. It's funny, just people see that the bad stuff, but yeah, that only lasted a little while. Yeah, we've been friends forever.
Um, you're sober, right? I mean, you never really drank or did drugs.
No, I never did anything.
Was it? Manson has in his band had a reputation that was the opposite of that. Was that difficult at all, or have you been in situations being in bands because that stuff's around? Is it hard if you're around a lot of it?
No, it's not hard. Like, it's just, you choose not to do it. Just like if you don't like eating a certain food or doing something, you just don't do it.
Yeah, but if somebody likes McDonald's and you don't, they're not going to knock on your door at 3 a.m. and want to talk.
Yeah, no.
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's not. I've never had a problem.
Okay. Well, sometimes being the sober guy around drunks can be a little annoying. Is all I was going for there, but.
Yeah, no, it was New Year's Eve every night,
Okay.
You don't have to be wasted. You could still be at the New Year's Eve party.
All right, I can live with that one. What about Paul Stanley? How much work did you do with him on the Live to Win on the record?
Just I did a few songs, and I've known Paul for a long time, and great songwriter, great everything. I mean, that's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
So it was weird, and I was writing with him and playing guitar and doing all this stuff. But what was so weird that I remember so vividly, and I don't know why, is that we were doing like, after you do a song, you do like little overdub, like, hand claps or shakers or something like that. And I was doing that with him around the mic, and I was like, whoa, this is so weird. But I don't know why I remember that so vividly. And so many other rad things were happening, like guitar solos and this, and, but yeah, we were doing like little hand claps and little production stuff, and I was like, "Oh, this is so rad."
That record is really good, I think.
It's a great record. I mean, Paul's a great songwriter. He's wonderful.
Yeah. Now I'll ask you this kind of as a Kiss fan. I saw that tour and I thought it was amazing, and just for my preference, I would have rather seen more of that than to go see Kiss live again. Now, I'd seen Kiss, plenty of times by that point in my life, so it's easy for me to say I've got my Kiss. I'd rather see kind of Paul go out with a great band and dig deep, and I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Paul has done plenty of tours like that.
Mm-hmm.
He did this great tour in '89, this phenomenal tour where he did his solo records, some other Kiss songs. He's done a bunch of really cool stuff. He's doing his Soul Station thing,
mm-hmm.
and he toured his Live to Win record. So he's done quite a bit.
Yeah, but it would look just for my money. I would have liked to seen more, like do another record and tour again. I would have liked to seen Gene do stuff like that too. Although Gene just kind of fired up a solo tour, which I think appeased a lot of us.
Yeah, well, who knows what will happen, and nobody can predict the future. But those guys are musicians and they're artists, so I think who knows what will happen.
Sure. All right. Well, you've been with Rob for quite a long time. How did you initially get hooked up with him?
I was let's see. We were doing this benefit for the tsunami survivors and victims And Dave Navarro said, well, here's who's going to play at the benefit. And I said, I would love to play with Rob Zombie. I'm such a huge fan. And so he made that happen. And I said, hey, if you ever need a guitar player, let me know. And one thing led to another. And I've been in the band since 2005.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got a new record coming out as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, we just finished, and it's mixed, mastered, and ready to go. I don't know when it's going to come out, but it's a heavy, zombie, hooky, great Rob Zombie record, which I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of Rob Zombie before I got in the band, and this record is really, really great. It's heavy and it's hooky, and it's got all the elements to a badass zombie record.
Killer. Yeah, I actually, in that same place I saw too, I just saw you and Rob Zombie. I want to say maybe 2 summers ago at Northern Invasion.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, you guys are great. John
That's
5
right.
Invasion. You have, that's the name of the new album coming out. Is there a release date yet?
July.
July, okay. You're kind of, are real quick, any concerns that Vinnie Vincent's going to sue you for calling it Invasion?
I don't know. Is this the Vinnie Vincent Invasion? Well,
he likes to sue people.
There's a lot of invasions out there.
No, I know. Yeah, I don't think he can sue over a title anyway. But that was just a joke. No, you got the video for Zoinks out, and it's kind of I don't know. It's a really cool video. People should check it out if they haven't. My understanding is that you're going to be teasing quite a few of the video leading up to the album release. Is that right?
Yes, I have another video coming out on the 1st of February called Crank It. And it's kind of goes into another song called Living with Ghosts. And it's completely different from Zoinks. It's like an acid trip and really crazy, real decadent and, boobs and guitar solos, and acid and all sort of weird, cool stuff. So it's a trip, and that comes out February 1st.
Is everything's instrumental? Is kind of the norm?
Yes. I did take a little line because a little line from my Apple Translate. If you type in a word, it will say it back, and it said "crank it," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And so I put that line in the song, so it just goes "crank it," But it's from the Apple, from my laptop. It's really cool.
Do you have your own little studio recording, or how do you put it all together?
I don't, because I would be always in the studio, because I'm always playing guitar. I was just playing guitar before I picked the phone with you. So if I had a studio in my house, it would be really, really bad. I don't think I would leave it. So I made it a point not to. So I just go to the studio.
Okay.
So makes it easier.
Is there one you like, or just wherever you're at?
I am addicted to this place called the Riot House, and it's my producer's place, Barry Pointer, and it's called the Riot House, and it's awesome. And it's in North Hollywood. It's just a killer place. It's comfortable, and it sounds amazing.
Do you basically have the album written before you go in, or do you kind of piece it together as you go?
I have I'd say 80% of it. So it's in my head, 80% of it, but I haven't recorded anything. So what I'll do is I'll go song by song, and like a fighter, I'll train, and be totally prepared when I go in the studio. So I just only do a couple takes.
How long? Well, I got a question about your musical style a little bit. You started playing, I assume, very young.
Yeah, it's 7.
Oh, jeez. How was it hard finding a guitar to fit your hands?
Actually, yeah, my left hand is actually a lot larger than my right hand.
Huh.
It's very weird, because I would stretch the palm of my hand so much. It's not really your fingers that stretch, it's your palm, and my palm is way larger than my hand is way larger than my right hand.
Well, that's kind of fortuitous.
It's weird, right?
Yeah. A lot of guys can get really good, but they have it's developing their own sound that kind of gets to be hard. When do you think you kind of basically it was clear that you kind of had your own thing going, as you know, because you're an amazing guitar player, but yet at the same time, when I hear you're playing, I can tell it's you.
Yeah, I think that's the cool thing about things is you have to, like, I remember I would read interviews with guitar players, and they would always say you have to have your own style. You have to have your own style, your own style. And I never really understood, and I just but later in the years I understood what that meant. So it was, it just happens kind of. It's really hard to explain. It's like trying to describe the color blue or something like that. It's it just kind of happens. Your own sound and your own style.
But it was clear to you at a certain point, like I've kind of hit that point now.
Uh, I hope so. Yeah, I don't. I just do what I do. I love doing country stuff. I love playing crazy guitar, and I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah, the weird thing is I've actually, heard a decent number of interviews with you over the years, and your playing almost sounds like your personality to a certain extent. I don't know that I would describe other players that way. I don't know if that sounds like a compliment or not, but it was intended as one.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
You're very colorful, you know what I mean, and you have a lot of interests, and you're positive, and that kind of comes across in your music.
well, thank you. Yeah, I just love to. I love playing. I don't do it for anything else except for the love of the music and the love of the guitar.
Who would have been the first band to get you into music then?
I would say it was a TV show. It was that Hee Haw show. That was
That's
that was
weird.
probably the very first thing that got me into it.
Jakey Lee told me almost the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I talked to him just after Roy Clark died, and he brought up Roy Clark as one of the guys that like got him kind of going.
Yeah, that's what got me going was Hee Haw. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Yeah, because that was my whole world. TV was everything for me. Yeah, it's really cool.
That doesn't surprise me too much. Let's talk about the new record, though. What besides Zoinks, the other song you mentioned, what kind of stuff can we expect when it comes out?
Oh my God, it's totally insane. It's like it's a little bit of everything. There's heavy rock. There's hardcore bluegrass. There is there's a mandolin song. It's just mandolin. And there is kind of like like what DJs do, like that, when you go to a rave or something, there's that kind of music too, but like we're shredding guitars. And I try to do everything super hooky and things like that, make it interesting for people. So it's by far my favorite record. I can't wait for people to hear it. And the next video after this one, February 1st, which will be March 1st, will be a part 2 of Zoinks. That is another animated video. And my animator is incredible. He does the animation for Frozen and Wreck-It Ralph and stuff at Disney.
Wow. How did that connection come about?
He reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, I'm a big fan. I work at Disney, and I just wanted to say, big fan of all this stuff." And I was like, wait a minute. I always wanted to do a Scooby-Doo-esque type video. And he was like, "Well, I'm your guy. That's what I do. I animate." So it was a great connection. So whenever people come up to me and they talk to me and they say, "Hey, I do this or do that," I always listen. I'll put you to work.
Oh, amen. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of gear do you? I mean, you must have a ton of gear. I mean, you use so many different shapes and colors in your sound for your guitar. Do you have like just almost everything out there and pull it when you need it?
I have a lot of stuff, but I try not to use too many effects. I just try to keep it guitar and amp because I never want to be in a situation where I can't just jump on stage and play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like, oh, I need this amp or I need that amp or I need this pedal or I need that pedal. I just want to be able to just jump on stage wherever, whenever, and just know I'm going to be okay. You know, I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah.
that's so I don't really have. I try not to use that many effects, and so you know, because I don't want to be limited. I just want to try to do everything with my hands.
That's cool. There's an extensive list of tour dates out that you can find on your website. What can we expect if we make it out to one of your shows with John 5 and the Creatures, right?
Oh my God, it's definitely something you'll never see before. It's kind of like it's like you know, just like an instrumental Alice Cooper show. There's monsters that come out. It takes you through all sorts of different kinds of music. So many different things are happening, and it's so exciting. It's just really an exciting show. People love it, you know, and I'm so happy that people love it because it is a hard sell. It's instrumental music. It's a tough sell, but people really enjoy it, thank God.
And it's all John 5 solo music, or do you throw anything else in there?
We do a very long medley, like it's something like 30 something riffs or something like that, and it's like 10 minutes of music, and it's so difficult. I mean, to remember everything, it's really cool. It's like an instrumental version of Beat It or Enter Sandman or something like that. So it's a lot of fun.
Did you happen to see that Dave Grohl project Play and how that was put together?
Which one?
It's the Dave Grohl solo. He just called it Play, and it's like a 24-minute instrumental that he recorded every instrument in one take, is my understanding. And he used 3 drum kits, and so he had to remember the drums, and he'd go from one kit to another kit. He wrote the song so it had like this little kind of extended break where he could hop from one song to one kit to the other. Yeah,
Cool.
There's a video of it if you want. I mean, if you're interested in it anyway. It's kind of in the vein of what you're talking about, you know, where it's just 24 minutes of just changes. So.
Oh man, I'll check that out. It's probably on YouTube.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, well, with that, John, anything else you'd like to plug before I let you go here?
That's it. Just check out the upcoming album and tour. The tour is going to be, you know, we're going everywhere. So we're just check the tour dates and, you know, come watch a show.
And I saw Zombies already announced for a bunch of festivals this summer, so you'll be out doing that again?
Oh, absolutely. All
right. Well, John, it's been a pleasure. I'm a big fan. It's always cool to talk to a Kiss collector too, because I can nerd out a little bit. I probably could have gone a lot further on that, but maybe for the listeners' benefit, I didn't.
No, it's wonderful. And yeah, check out that Instagram. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. If you're a Kiss fan and you're not looking at that, you're missing out. So.
Well, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, best of luck with the record, and thanks for joining the show.
Take care.